Hey guys, I'm Matt and welcome back to another Kit Guru review. Today we are checking out the Ducky One 3 gaming keyboard. This is a rock solid keyboard. It's really quiet and feels really premium. This one here has Cherry MX silent red linear switches and they feel amazing. The inclusion of foam inside the case of this keyboard brings it close to the realms of custom boards, and it's absolutely packed full of features labelled Quack Mechanics by Ducky, which are designed to deliver a balanced experience when using it. This variant of the board retails on overclockers for £166.99. However, there are a lot of different options available with different switch types and layouts, so you can find the perfect board for you. Let's take a closer look at this keyboard and find out if it's any good. As I mentioned in the intro, there are many different variants of this keyboard available. It's available in the following colours: yellow, daybreak, matcha and Fuji. The yellow and daybreak colourways are available in full size, 10 keyless, 65% and 60% configurations, and they all have RGB. Whereas the matcha and Fuji designs both lack that RGB backlighting and are only available in full size and 10 keyless sizes as far as I can tell. You also get to choose from pretty much any of the Cherry MX switches. The model I have here, as I mentioned, has silent red linear switches, but the keyboard does have a hot swappable PCB/switch layout, so these can be changed to your heart's content without the need for a soldering iron. There are plenty of different options to choose from if you're thinking of picking one of these keyboards up, and I'm really pleased that Ducky are offering such a wide range of options to buyers. The box for the One 3 looks quite minimal from the outside, to be fair, with pretty basic information on the back. It's only when you open it up and see the keyboard for the first time that it starts becoming more obvious that this is a really good quality product. It's packaged really well and protected by a plastic insert as well as a plastic bag. Included in the box with the keyboard are a decent amount of extras. You'll get a keycap removal tool, a switch puller, a selection of different keys, the detachable USB-C cable, an instruction card which details how to customise the board. We'll go into that in more detail later, as there's no software for the Ducky One 3. And finally, there's some stickers. This is the one constant between peripherals from almost any brand. You always get some stickers in the box. Now this is a striking keyboard. The yellow design that I have here won't be to everyone's tastes, but me personally, I absolutely love it. The top of the keyboard is made from plastic, which sits on top of a metal base plate. The design of this board is nothing out of the ordinary, but it doesn't need to be. This keyboard delivers on the simple design aspects really well in my opinion. The chassis is solid and designed in a way that holds it perfectly in place when on my desk. The keycaps are standard shaped, double shot PBT plastic and they feel really good quality. Although they do lack shine through legends, so they can't be seen very well in the dark. The sides, top and bottom edge of the keyboard protrude quite a bit out from the keys, but this just adds to the solid feel and overall sturdiness of the keyboard. There's some branding along the top right edge of the top side of the board with the unusual and quirky Ducky logo sitting next to the model name. I'm really glad that they placed this out of sight and left the front of the board plain. As I've said before, I much prefer minimal branding on products to keep things looking nice and clean. The bottom of the board houses the recessed USB-C connection port, along with cable routing channels which allow you to feed the cable off to the left, right or the centre. A nice little detail which will help keep your desk looking as clean as possible wherever this keyboard is positioned. There are adjustable feet which offer two different levels of incline alongside just having them fully closed off. The One 3 sits at 5 degrees with the feet flat, 9 degrees with the smaller feet extended and 12.5 degrees at the highest setting. And I've found 12.5 degrees to be my favourite so far, and the keyboard feels almost perfect for me when it's set up in this way. As I mentioned earlier, there isn't any software available for this keyboard, which leads to the inclusion of the dip switches, which can be found in the lower left corner on the bottom of the Ducky One 3. They allow you to change the location of certain modifier keys such as the Windows, Alt, Control and Function keys. Finally, in the middle of the bottom of the board, there's an embossed Ducky logo and a metal engraved plate which details the serial and model numbers and part numbers and that sort of stuff. That metal plate looks really classy in my opinion. So the build quality of this keyboard and the general feel of using the Ducky One 3 are both exceptional. This is a seriously well built board that does not skimp out on anything that I can find. There's very minimal flex and hardly any rattle on the stabilisers. The keycaps are robust and feel very good quality. The whole thing just feels rock solid. Ducky have labelled this board as having quack mechanics, which is their way of saying the board has a solid stance, authentic acoustics, balanced tuning and true PBT keycaps. This all adds up to a very premium feeling and sounding product. The keyboard has quite a bit of heft to it, which is in no way a bad thing. It's reassuringly heavy. The inclusion of foam under the PCB really benefits the sound and typing feel and helps this keyboard deliver a really premium experience, which is also added to by the switches. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the Ducky One 3 is available with a wide range of Cherry MX mechanical switches, with the model I have for testing containing their silent red linears. Now my findings may be limited to these specific switches, but the solid feeling when typing should persist no matter which switches are used. Plus the One 3 has hot swappable PCB, so changing the switches is easy and solder free. More on the switches I have here though, they're really good. With them being linear, there isn't any click or tactile bump, they feel smooth and sound nice. The dampening in the case helps with acoustics, and the inclusion of cue bounce pads directly on the PCB helps soften the keys when they bottom out, which really adds to the comfort when typing for a long period of time. Here's a sound test, and after you've listened to it, let us know in the comments what you think of the sound of this keyboard. I think it sounds really nice. So talking about the RGB options and how you control and customize this keyboard, if I had to have one criticism of the Ducky One 3, it would be the lack of any software to configure it. The instructions included with the board contain some very basic steps on changing RGB presets and enabling and disabling the Windows key. You'll have to go over to the Ducky website to download the full manual for details on how to customize the RGB, record macros, alter modify key positioning using the dip switches, or modify the function of those keys. Every piece of customization is done on the keyboard itself, and it feels like I need to take a training course to learn it all. This may be exactly what you're after though. A lot of the time it feels like the software that accompanies peripherals is an afterthought in the design process, often being buggy and leading to long startup times or sometimes performance issues. You'll never have that problem with the Ducky One 3. Your PC will be no different if you choose to use this keyboard over others. I personally think that would be amazing, and I feel that if the onboard controls were simplified, it'd be well worth it. The fact that there is no software would be made much easier to digest if the controls were easier to use. The RGB lighting on the One 3 is decent, and cycling through the preset RGB modes is relatively simple. It's just a case of pressing the function and F10 buttons. Changing to something more custom gets a little more complex though. First you have to select a preset mode that can be adjusted. To learn which ones are customizable, check the manual. Then you have to press a certain combination of keys to change the effect speed or the colour. To find out what those keys are, check the manual. It's all bogged down too much in the details. Say for example, I wanted to change to purple. And bear in mind that I'm colourblind, it's a case of selecting the correct amount of red and blue light individually, which is hugely confusing for me, and I'm sure it will be for many other people out there. Then there's the dip switches on the bottom. The first is used to enable and disable the Windows key. Yep, you'll have to turn this keyboard over and flick a physical switch to stop the Windows key activating while you're gaming. The second is for enabling and disabling N key rollover, which that one's a bit more forgiving as it's more of a set and forget type setting. Then the third and fourth switches are used for changing over the Ducky VID to a user defined VID and changing the right Windows key to a menu key. The keyboard does have the option to record macros and save profiles to onboard memory, but again, these are done with combinations of key presses, which I'm personally never going to commit to memory, so they'll probably never be used. The bottom line is, the process of customising a keyboard should not be this complicated, and I really feel that the lack of any dedicated software will really hold this keyboard back. And that's a shame because it's an amazing keyboard. You just need a degree from the University of Ducky to be able to take it to its full potential. Overall, this keyboard is great. It has some of the best build quality and typing feel that I've ever experienced on any keyboard. The keycaps are amazing, the lighting effects are fluid, and the frame is rigid, sturdy, and solid. But, and this is a big but, I mentioned in my review of the Razer Huntsman Mini Analog that bad software can often be the downfall of a great product. With this board, we don't even have that. The lack of any user-friendly software is a huge downside to this keyboard for me. Sure, if you spend a few hours learning all of the shortcuts and keybinds, you could probably be a wizard with this thing. But in today's day and age, many people don't have time for that. We just want to plug it in, customising it using some software, and then begin using the product for gaming or typing or whatever. On the flip side, that may be exactly what you're after. If you don't want to install any software to go alongside your keyboard, then you'll enjoy this product. After a bit of a learning curve for the controls and getting the board set up how you want it, you'll be left with a great keyboard that will last you a long, long time. For me though, if this keyboard had software or at least some more simplified controls, it would be the best keyboard I've ever used, but it falls just short of that mark. I hope you found this video helpful and I hope you enjoyed my review of the Ducky One 3. If you did, please leave a like down below. Let us know in the comments what you think of this keyboard. What do you think of this colour of a keyboard? It's kind of unusual. If you want to check out Kit Guru merch, like this t-shirt that I'm wearing, there'll be a link in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to keep up with all the latest PC gaming news and reviews. I have been Matt. This has been the Ducky One 3 gaming keyboard. Take it easy and I will speak to you in the next one. See you later.